Meet Dave. Dave just won $50 million for one beautiful, shimmering second. Dave is the luckiest man on earth. He's thinking about yachts. He's thinking about a gold-plated toilet. He's thinking about finally paying back his mum for that window he broke in 3rd grade. But the universe has a very sick sense of humor. That's bad. That's really bad. But wait. Now, you're probably thinking, that's impossible. The odds of that happening are 1 in a billion. Exactly. Welcome to the mathematics of misery. Today we're looking at the people who didn't just have a bad day, but people who were essentially targeted by a cosmic prankster for their entire lives. From the human lightning rod to the man who treated death like a suggestion rather than a rule. Let's dive into the most statistically cursed humans to ever walk the dirt. First up, we have Roy Sullivan. Now, most of us see a storm and think, I should probably go inside. Roy saw a storm and the clouds basically said, oh, look, it's Roy. Let's go get him. Between 1942 and 1977, Roy Sullivan was struck by lightning. Not once, not twice, 7 times. 7 times. At one point, he was hit twice in the same few minutes. He lost an eyebrow. He had his hair set on fire multiple times. Imagine waking up, seeing a single cloud in a clear blue sky and thinking, well, here we go again. Roy eventually became so paranoid that he started carrying a bucket of water around with him just in case he burst into flames, which, honestly, is a fair reaction when the sky is actively trying to assassinate you. The odds of being hit by lightning once in your life are roughly 1 in 15,000. The odds of being hit 7 times? That's not math. That's a vendetta. The universe didn't just want Roy dead, it wanted him to know it was trying. Now, if Roy was the king of atmospheric bad luck, Violet Jessop was the queen of, why am I still on this boat? Violet was an ocean liner stewardess. Her first minor incident? She was on the RMS Olympic when it collided with a warship. Most people would be like, yeah, I think I'll try a desk job now, maybe something in a desert. Not Violet. A few years later, she boards the Titanic, you know. The unsinkable ship. Spoiler alert, it sank. She survived again, but did she quit the cruise industry? Did she develop a sudden, intense phobia of salt water? No. She literally signed up for another job on the HMHS Britannic, the Titanic's sister ship. Three massive ship disasters. She survived all of them. Now, you could call her the luckiest woman alive for surviving, but think about the unlucky part. Imagine the sheer, mind-numbing frustration of being on a boat, feeling it tilt and thinking, surely not again, I just packed my bags. Violet didn't just experience bad luck. She was a statistical anomaly. She was the common denominator in 3 of the biggest maritime disasters in history. She was basically the bad luck charm of the Atlantic Ocean. But then we have Frane Selak. Now, Frane's story is where the math doesn't just get weird, it basically breaks. Frane was a Croatian music teacher who spent the first few decades of his life as a living target for everything that can go wrong. In 1962, he was on a train that derailed and plunged into a freezing river. 8 people died. Frane? He swam to shore with a broken arm. You'd think that's enough, right? Wrong. A year later, he boards a plane. Mid-flight, a door flies in off. Frane is sucked out of the aircraft and falls thousands of feet through the air. He lands in a haystack. He survives. He's literally a human cat with 9 lives, but the universe was still counting. He then survived a bus crash into a river, 2 different car fires where the engine exploded while he was inside, and a moment where a bus nearly flattened him on the street. For 40 years, Frane Selak was the man the Grim Reaper simply could not catch. It was like he was playing a game of hide-and-seek with death, and death was just really, really bad at finding him. But here is the punchline. In 2003, at the age of 73, Frane buys a lottery ticket for the first time in years, and he wins $400,000. Think about that. The universe spent 4 decades trying to delete him from existence through planes, trains, and explosions. And then, apparently, it just gave up and paid him to go away. That is the ultimate "I'm done with this guy" move from the cosmos. Finally, we reach the absolute peak of the statistical nightmare. Meet Tsutomu Yamaguchi. August 6, 1945. Tsutomu is in Hiroshima for a business trip. The first atomic bomb in history goes off. He's badly burned, ruptured eardrums, total chaos. He survives. Now, what does a normal person do after surviving a nuclear blast? They go home, they hide in a basement, they move to a different continent. Tsutomu goes home. He's sitting in his office in Nagasaki, telling his boss, "Sir, you won't believe it. I saw this giant flash in Hiroshima and the whole city vanished." And at that exact moment, the boss's face is illuminated by a second giant white flash. He survived again. This is where the luck thing gets weird. Is Tsutomu the luckiest man ever because he survived 2 nukes, or the unluckiest man in history because he was the only person who had to experience the horror of an atomic bomb twice in 1 week? Statistically, the odds of being in both cities at the right time and surviving both blasts are so low that the math basically just gives up and goes home. So, why does this happen? Is it fate? Is it a curse? Did Roy Sullivan offend a cloud god in a past life? Probably not. The truth is actually much scarier. It's called the law of truly large numbers. With 8 billion people on the planet, impossible things happen every single day. If the odds of something happening are 1 in a million, it'll still happen to 8,000 people. Bad luck isn't a target on your back. It's just a glitch in the probability matrix. For every person who wins the lottery twice, there is a Dave who gets hit by lightning while holding the winning ticket. You aren't unlucky because the universe hates you. You're just the person who happened to be standing where the math decided to get weird. So, the next time you drop your toast butter side down, or your phone screen cracks the second you take it out of the case, just remember Roy Sullivan. At least the sky isn't trying to delete you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the misery of others, hit that subscribe button. It's the only way to ensure your own luck stays moderately average. Still better than a nuke.